the 11-inch M4 iPad Pro. I never thought a device like this will make sense to my workflow at all, as everything that my iPad offers can either be done with my MacBook Pro or my iPhone. But I have to say that I was wrong. During this last couple of months of ownership, I've learned to appreciate this device for exactly for what it is, which is the perfect in between the iPhone and the MacBook. And to be honest, the ultimate productivity device within my workflow. As you guys seen, Apple is taking an approach towards thinner devices, and we saw this first with the M4 iPad Pro lineup and now with the M4 Mac Mini. And I was skeptical at first, but they've proven that they can achieve this impossible hardware design without sacrificing performance, which is the most incredible part. I'm still waiting to see how that translates when it comes to the future thinner MacBook Pro while keeping everything that makes the MacBook Pro special. In other words, the ports. But back at the 11-inch iPad Pro. As I said before in multiple videos, I've never been an iPad person at all. To me, it was just a piece of hardware that existed just for artists, students, or simply as a content consumption device. But after owning one, I've realized that it's so much more than that. Now let's take a quick break and thank our amazing sponsors at Baseus. I've been using their products for a couple of months now, and I have become a big fan of their Nomos lineup, especially their 5-in-1 desktop charger. One of the most essential accessories for your desk is a wireless charger, and Baseus has an incredible solution for you. This charger can power up to 5 devices simultaneously, including your keyboard, mouse, phone, or even your iPad. The 5-in-1 charger features, it has 2 USB Type-C, where the one labeled as C3 can charge up to 140 watts with PD 3.1, USB Type-A, a useful retractable USB-C cable that supports up to 100 watts of charging, and a Q2 wireless charger. All of these features are packed into a compact and aesthetically pleasing design, which is very important for me since all of this is sitting at my desktop at all time and is visible, adding to the aesthetic that I'm trying to achieve with my setup. To top it off, the charger has an LCD display that provides real-time charging status. The entire Nomos series products are truly impressive. If you're interested in trying anything from Baseus, use my discount code 10NAMOSCS to get 10% off. And thank you Baseus for sponsoring this video. When it comes to productivity, especially for content creation, nothing that I own comes close to the iPad. You can argue by saying I can take my MacBook Pro with me the same way and use it to achieve the same task, but not really. I'm not sure why the iPad is so much better at generating ideas for me compared to other devices. For instance, I often start sketching my video projects by brainstorming titles, topics, and how I plan to structure them in a video. Sometimes I even draw the thumbnail idea and experiment with different concepts until I reach the one that I end up using for my video. Afterward, I can open my Notion next to my draft thanks to Task Manager and begin writing my script using that draft as a reference. While I don't always follow the same method or sequence, the creative freedom that I experience using the iPad is far more convenient compared to using my MacBook. Task Manager is not perfect, as you guys probably know. At times, it can feel a bit tedious as window management is not as smooth as it is in the MacBook, but you get used to it. After all, iPadOS 18 didn't change as much as we anticipated, but sometimes we have to understand that Apple as a company needs a clear separator between devices because after all, they're a business and they won't hurt a great selling product with another, as it won't only hurt their sales but also confuse their audience. But I get it, I'm with you, iPadOS needs a major update. Maybe for iPadOS 19 next year. Another huge benefit for the iPad that has changed the way that I work completely is the Pencil Pro. Hear me out, I don't use it all the time, as most of the time my iPad is attached to my keyboard. But when the time comes to put an idea together, I like to sketch, and the new features the Apple Pencil Pro brought this year makes everything much better, since now I can be more efficient. With a simple squeeze, I can change the tools or simply undo a mistake from my sketch. Also, it comes in handy when signing documents or contracts, something that I'd much rather do here than in my iPhone. Overall, even if you're not an artist, I think it's a must-have accessory to your iPad Pro to complete the whole experience. As I said before, I mostly use my iPad for all the pre-production work, but I'm confident that if I need to do anything major, even if I prefer to do those things on my M3 Max MacBook Pro, the iPad Pro can take care of it easily. I'm not going to act like I edit tons of videos on my iPad because I don't, but it's more possible than ever. DaVinci Resolve in iPad is actually very capable, and the M4 chip handles it amazingly. And when the time comes to color grading, you'll see why the display is so special. Blacks are true blacks and colors look bright and vibrant. Believe it or not, it's significantly better than my stereo display. I'm personally looking forward to see more Apple devices with the tandem OLED, especially the MacBook Pro. As soon as that happens, I'll be upgrading for sure. It's not a surprise that games run flawlessly here, but as an enthusiast, or someone that was an enthusiast actually, because I don't play as often as I used to, I don't know why, but I find it hard to be truly immersed in the iPad. I'm not sure why. Gaming for me usually means to lay back on the couch with my PS5 on the big screen, or lately my preference has been mostly using my Steam Deck. However, if you buy an iPad for gaming, it won't disappoint you, as there's a decent list of AAA games that have grown quite a bit since they were first introduced as native games to the App Store, and they run smoothly, honestly. It's a great experience overall. Playing with a touchscreen is not super convenient, but just pick a Bluetooth controller that you have at home and connect it to your iPad for a much better experience. In my case, I use my PS5 controller and it works incredibly well. It's worth saying that this device is only 5.3mm thick and without any fans. The thermal efficiency is just incredible, which is mostly driven by the M4 chip. 6 months later, and I'm still in disbelief how great this device is. Personally, what I find myself doing the most on the iPad is editing photos, and Lightroom for some reason feels like it was made just for iPad. It's by far my favorite app to use on this device. Everything runs well as expected. All the photos that I take are raw, either from my iPhone 16 Pro Max or my FX3, so I use Lightroom all the time for personal use and for YouTube. There's some Apple Intelligence features that we start receiving now, but I don't know if it's worth talking about too much, since it's honestly right now nothing super impressive. I think that one of the things that I've been using very often now is the writing tools, which is my favorite thing from the Apple Intelligence update, and the Magic Eraser is pretty cool as well. But there's some things, I don't know, Siri still feels like it's lacking behind the other competitors, but we have to see how far it goes later on. I'll let you guys know once I see more, since I'm running the beta on my iPad, but so far it's okay. So after 6 months of use, what I've learned from using my M4 iPad Pro, I think it's the perfect productivity device. Although some people think it could be a MacBook replacement, and I agree to a degree. In reality, it all depends on what you do. To me, it's an amazing device to quickly start an idea and let my creativity flow. When I complement some of that work with my iPhone, maybe when it comes to adding clips of a video or simply photos supporting the topic, and to finish everything up, my MacBook Pro puts the work to make the idea a reality. But everyone is different, so that workflow may not work for you, but from what you saw in this video, you should be able to understand how to make it work best for your situation. I hope that you enjoy the video. Take care.